hopefully I'm running this through my internet and my webcam. I quite often run it through my phone, so we'll see how we go. And yeah, I just thought I would do a little bit in our free Facebook group, Drawing Wildlife and Nature. Every month we do an Aesop fable, and this month is I think it's a lion, a donkey, and a fox went for a walk. Can't remember what it was now. It was something to do. It had a gun in it as well. So anyway, I was sort of trying to come up with some images and thinking what I could draw for that. And I came across this gorgeous fox eye, so I thought I would give that a go. Just the colours, so yeah, they're just really like vibrant, bright oranges and yellows. This is it here. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I thought I would try and replicate that. And yeah, thought you guys might like to watch as well. So I'm doing this through the webcam so I can actually hopefully see if any comments come up. And that way I can maybe answer anyone. Which already I can see Mandy and Sue. Hi guys. So I'm going to swing this down and we'll see how this works. Let's go. Just bear with me while I move this around. Okay, we're going to have to go this way. This way. Alright. Alright, I'm going to get it a bit closer yet, but I just want to make sure it's up the right way. Oh gosh. Okay, let's try and get this nice and tight. Alright, I can zoom up a bit more yet. There we go. Alright, that seems to be the right way around. So let's minimize that. Okay. And hopefully everyone can still hear me. And I haven't mucked anything up yet. Alright, so this is the eye. It's quite amazing, isn't it? Alright, so yeah. So the other idea I had, which I don't know if I'll do that at the moment, but in a few months we're going to be working on eyes with reflections in my membership, so it's good to tell a story. So like this one, because the whole let me turn my phone off. Because the whole sentence had, I can't remember what it was now. It was like, yeah, a lion, a donkey and a fox were going to get a firearm, or they were taking a walk with they were going hunting or something, I don't know. And so in that reflection, you could somehow put a lion and a donkey in there to create the story, or you could have a like the barrel of a gun looking towards the fox as though the fox is about to get shot, which is quite sad, but yeah. So there's so much you can do with reflections, which is what we're going to be working on in a few months' time, so that'll be a good one. Alright, I'm just going to put my glasses on. Now I always start, I've just got some grey pastel matte here. Now normally I probably use sand for this one just because there's a lot of browns in this, but I have this little piece sitting here, so that's what I thought I would use. And I use pastel matte for the fur and building up layers. So the first thing I do is I like to get my darks in. So I will get this black in. Some sort of pupil in there, and I also like to make sure I have any white areas marked out so I don't end up getting them too muddy. So there's a little bit of white along this edge here. It's a grey, but you can come back in over the top with pastel sticks to get a bright white, but it's just, I find it's a bit easier if I just mark them in to start with. Because if I try to rub white pencil over black, I end up with a grey. Now up in here, essentially it's not all white, there's quite a lot of different reflection and there's a lot of blue in it, but I'm just going to get a bit of white in there anyway. Okay. Alright, now I've also got there's some really dark brown, a couple of little dots here as well I can see. It's got a bit of red in it, so I'll just bring a bit of this in as well. Alright, now I'm going to start trying to bring in some of this orange here through this area, and I can see a lot of red in there and there's green all through here as well. So I might just start blocking that in a bit just to get it in there. I'm just not sure how bright I'm going to get this on this grey paper, but it should be alright. I always try and bring my lines up sort of towards the pupil. And I see Kelly as well is watching. Hi Kelly. So I'll get this sort of all blocked in. So I've got this sort of an undertone of orange. There is even some up in here as well. Alright, and I can see some green up in here. So essentially I'm just sort of blocking in what colours I can see at the moment. Some green down in here. Although I've been trying to do a live, Facebook Live every Wednesday, but this one started to get a bit late. But that's alright, I thought I'd change the times up a little bit. Green there. Alright, so what else can I bring in here? I can see a bit of red in here. So again, I'll bring some of that in. So I really am just, where I see some colour, I'm just going to add some. And maybe a bit of red in here. Not really much up in there. Oh, Sue, look, oh, Laurel's here too. Hi, Laurel. Looking forward to coaching week. Ordered some new grey pencils and grey pastel mat. Well done. Grayscale, yes. It's going to be lots of fun. Yeah, really am looking forward to coaching week. I've been really busy trying to get everything. I finally got the kangaroo tutorial edited today. So that's all ready to go. Now I've just got to get some more sort of automations done so that I can sit back and really enjoy it. Because yeah, last time we did it, it was really good. Because I had everything set up so it wasn't too stressful. And I'm going to open the doors on Friday. We've got that competition running at the moment if you want to try and win a ticket. If you're not already a member and want to win a ticket to Coaching Week and save yourself $10 US. Then you can click on the link for the competition. If you're already a member, you get Coaching Weeks included in the membership, so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, and then the doors officially will open on Friday, so if you want to join us, you can, and then that'll give you access into the module, the Coaching Week module on my website, and that has all the details about like what you need and everything else. Although I will be putting up a equipment list in this group and my page for those that aren't sure if they want to join in. They might want to see the equipment list first to see if they can afford it, which is fair enough. But I've kept it really minimum cost, so essentially I think it should only cost maybe about $40 or $50 if you didn't have any pastels, and that'd be Australian. So just building up colours here. So, hi Janet, best $10 you've spent. Awesome. Yeah, I'm very glad you spent that $10 and got introduced to the membership. We've actually got our draw along coming up on Friday. We're going to do a wave. Alright, I might start to block in some of this dark around this. I always like to get this the dark in around so I can actually start to see what sort of the contrast is. It's such a dark photo. I do have it on my computer actually, but it's pretty much just as dark on there, so I think I'll get it blocked in, and then I can add some detail with a grey or another brown. This is quite a big eye actually. Thought everyone would be watching maths. Hi Leslie. So you can't make the draw long. That's alright, I know you didn't really like doing waves anyway. Dark in here. Yeah, there's so much dark in this picture. Alright, and then I can come back in with the grey in some of these areas and add. Actually, I might even use this really dark blue just to get a bit of detail in here. Actually comes across there by the looks of it. I'll keep working back on this eye. So it's got so much detail in here. I need more of a red sort of brown in here. I'm not a big fan of foxes because they eat my ducks, but they're actually really beautiful. And I've got actually, one of my ducks was sitting on eggs. She's got this one little duckling. She's sitting on about 20 eggs. This one little duckling hatched about 5 days ago. And there's been no others. But she's determined, she's still sitting on them. So we'll see. I know they were all laid at different times. So we'll see how long she decides to stay sitting. But they're so cute. So yeah, I'm been a bit concerned that foxes might come and snatch them up. They are in a fenced enclosure, but foxes seem to be able to get into anything. I think I need to go a lot darker up here. I'm just slowly building up these layers and just constantly just adding bits of colour here and there until it starts to sort of come together. I think that should be there. It's a bit of light through here. So I was just also going to run through the schedule of coaching week for anyone who's probably going to listen to this a bit later. So the registrations are opening on Friday, and that's when you'll have access to the actual module where you'll see just what you need to buy and light equipment, all that sort of stuff. And then the following week, I think, on the 1st of March, is when the Facebook group, the pop-up Facebook group, that's sort of, we're going to be watching lives and everything in that opens, 1st of March. And that's when we can start sort of talking to everyone, and I'll do a few lives on there and say good day to everyone and answer any questions, all of that sort of stuff. And then on the 7th of March, of course, is when coaching week starts. And that's when I'll be doing all the different lives. You'll have access to the tutorials, the kangaroo and the cat eye. And then we'll also be doing our let's have a look. On the Monday, the 7th, we're going to do a welcome, and there'll be a little bit of an exercise in that for you to get started with. Then on Tuesday is when the tutorials will be released, so it's Tuesday the 8th. And then on Wednesday we're going to have a bit of fundamental training. I'll do a live fundamental. And then on Thursday we'll have a membership walkthrough for anyone who's interested in joining the membership. Friday will be our draw along session, which you don't want to miss that. That's always a lot of fun. It's a Zoom session as well, so it's really good. You get to talk to each other face to face. And then Saturday will be another Facebook Live where we'll draw the bingo. For those who've never done Coaching Week before, we always have a bingo session, which is a game, of course, throughout the week, and you can end up winning a 1-year free subscription to the membership. So on Saturdays when I'll be drawing that one. And we'll also probably do a bit of a mindset lesson or something. And then Sunday is our wrap up. It's the end of Coaching Week, but we'll do an art chat, I think would be good, where it's another Zoom session where we can all sort of get on and have a chat. I was going to also show everyone how I make my storage boxes, which are really handy. They're really good for just storing pastels, but they're also really good for posting pastels as well. So yeah, I thought that would be good. So essentially you get a whole month's worth of the membership all jammed into 1 week. So it can be a bit full on for some people, but you have access to all of the modules, like all the tutorials, all the recordings. You have lifetime access for that, so you don't have to worry about getting them all done. Like, I doubt anyone would get them all done anyway. You never know, though. Some people are pretty good at Coaching Week. They manage to get right into it, but yeah, there'll be no pressure. I think I'm way too light on this still. What do you call it? The best fox prevention I've seen to a trip house was the chicken wire covering the top. Not sure what your setup is. The trip house also had with the chicken wire around it. Yeah, the chook house is really fox proof. It's our duck pen. They're just in a big pen thing, and the foxes manage to dig under. But I find it's part of the sheep pen. Is the duck pen's in the sheep pen. So we've found if we have the electric fence on around the sheep pen, it keeps the foxes out. So because it's near on impossible to keep a fox out from digging under the wire and that around there, but yeah, the electric fence seems to keep them away. So this is why I love working on pastel mat for this sort of stuff, because you can see I can just keep building these layers up, keep adding more colour where I see it. If I need to go a bit darker. I still feel like the whole thing is not dark enough. It's always usually a bit darker around the edge of the iris, just as it sort of starts to go into shadow around the bottom of the eye. It's got a lot of detail on this. Up here in this reflection, like I was saying, you could pretty much, you know, put anything in here. If you wanted to do a, like say the shape of a donkey or whatever, say he's got his little ears. Have him sort of, you're not really going to see the whole detail of him, so, but you could yeah, just have shapes of what you want, like quite often you see in reflections like the photographer, a person standing there. But they're usually darker. They're quite dark shapes. You know, there's trees sort of up in the background here. A little bit dark green, which I don't have with me, but so you can put whatever you want in there. And of course, there's usually some blue. But like I said, in our membership group, we're going to go into reflections and telling a story with them in a couple of months. I've juggled things around. I think they were going to be next month, but I think we're going to do flowers next month. Alright, and there's always, well not always, but quite often, lash reflections. Oops, that was a bit long. Alright, so I'm still a long way off here, I feel, and this should be a bit more rounded as it's coming around. Like you've got to keep in mind the roundness of the eye with reflections as well, so they're quite often usually got some sort of a curve happening. Here. Still think it should be a bit darker around here. So you can see how I'm just slowly building this up. I'll add some darks and then I'll come back in if I feel that's a bit too much, and I can just blend that back in with a bit of the lighter colours. So I haven't really put hard pressure on at all at any time. And then you can sort of just blend it with a pencil, just slightly over the top. I think you would call it glazing, I suppose, if you wanted to blend it a little bit more. If I wanted that more orange, I probably should have used the orange pencil to glaze. Oh. Still feel like it's too I don't know what it is, it's too something. I don't think it's quite dark enough. It's too liney maybe. A few really dark spots in here. So that's why I like pastel. I can just sit here and keep playing. It's probably boring for you guys watching, but I could just sit here and keep playing with this all night. No, I really don't know if you can see this that well on here. But once I've got sort of all of my iris in as good as I want, I could still keep playing on that. But I'll then bring in this outer edge. Try and get rid of those lines from my I did my line art in white. I should have done it in black. But you sort of try to pick a colour that's in your image, which there's not really any white in this. So essentially around the eye I'll block it in, and then I can come back in with a grey or something that's in there. Sometimes it's blue, but 9 times out of 10 it'll be a grey, and just get that lighter. So that's the thing, you can work on top of pastel. So especially in these dark areas, I find it's easier to just block that black in and then come back in with that bit lighter colour over the top. It's even got some blue in there. I like to add a bit of blue into my black areas. It's just nice, adds a bit more colour into it. And then I can bring a lighter grey in if there's some lighter areas. Just along here, it's a bit lighter. And it goes darker as it goes into this shadow area. So this is dark up here. So there's darker in up there. And then once I'll finish up here actually, because I'm probably boring the hell out of everyone, but once I've sort of got that all established, then I'll start building up the fur around it. So this is all quite dark really here. Again, I'll block that in dark, but then I can come back in grey. It's kind of struggled here actually. It's so dark you can very hardly even see where it goes there. Yeah, and then I'll just start working out with the fur, but I'll put a finished picture up later. Oh, you like watching me work with pastels, Kelly? I'm not boring you then? Alright, well, I think I will let everyone go. I just thought I'd share this and yeah, talk a bit about the membership. And like I said, the membership, I'm in coaching week, and yeah, like I said, it's doors are opening on Friday, and I'll post everywhere. You'll see it. You'll probably get sick of seeing it. But if you're a member, do not pay for coaching week. You're already automatically in, and I'll tell you how to do that. But yeah, if you want to join us otherwise and you're not already a member, definitely follow the links that I'll post on Friday and join up, and yeah, you'll definitely enjoy it, that's for sure. So alright, I better stop. Okay. Alright, well, thanks for joining me, and I will see you all again soon. Yes, Mandy, this one, this will eventually be in the membership as well, of course. Yeah, so, alright, thanks a lot, guys. I'm not going to spin this camera because it'll, I don't know, I'll mess it up, but I'll just give you a wave and say bye now, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye, guys.